think they know, but they don't know. Hey, you're listening to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 223. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan today. We're going to continue the arc of the good vibes by talking about some C's and some D's. Now hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What's going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're back in the studio. I just finished 9 of my 10 days off of work. I don't think I missed any major world events, which makes me happy because that's, you know, when I like to take holidays when things are slow. Did Kaldheim preview season blow up and I didn't know?
Well, sorta.
I mean, we got a preview card.
We do have a preview card. Before we get to any talk about that, though, the business,
But
Brando.
before we get to any of that, we've got a deck to do from our man, the Deech.
The Deech?
I can remember that name because it's one of my favorite nicknames that there is.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Look
Look at his name on Architect.
The Deech! We got stories to tell. We got some stuff to get out of the way. But before we get to any of that exciting stuff, we have got to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They're your source for all your gaming needs.
Oh, baby. All of your Nethroi Apex of Death needs?
Nethroi Apex of Death.
Give them a read, then we'll talk about everything else.
Nethroi Apex of Death is a legendary creature, cat, nightmare, beast, 5/5 for Abzan. That's white, black, green, and 2. Has mutate for 4, Celestia hybrid, black, black. Death Touch lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your G to the B.
Ooh, G's and B's and C's and D's from the intro.
Yes, and the C's and the D's we'll get to later. Is it something dirty? You'll have to wait and see.
Who can say?
We could, but we won't.
Yeah. Lots going on in the world right now. This is the arc of good vibes for at least another month or so.
Yep.
And we want to make sure that people are feeling good and welcomed in the nation.
Yes, thank you for being here, everybody. Your port in the storm, as it were.
Hey, I like that. And it's not even like somewhere kind of dodgy like Tortuga.
I'm not even sure what Tortuga. I was thinking Luskan from Forgotten Realms. That's a shout out to this year's core set.
Yeah.
It's like a pirate town. It's run by these wizards. I think in the continuity now it blew up, but it's back.
Oh, that's real life. What's it called? No, that was an earthquake. Never mind. In somewhere in the Caribbean or something where Captain Morgan hid all his treasure. There was an earthquake and it all sunk. It's like one of the world's biggest hidden missing treasure troves.
Oh, wow. I want to find that now.
Yeah, so that is where we are today. Has nothing to do with the deck, but here we are.
Excellent.
Welcome to the nation. If you're a new YouTube sub, thank you very much. We hit 2,000. That was one of our goals for fucking last year, but here we are too.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, and big thank you to new Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast.
You guys are fine.
Totally fine. We could move to shoutouts real quick, and then we got a couple of other things, so we're kind of rushing through, but we want to spend some time with the thank yous and the shoutouts. And first, returning patron from Regina. What? Yeah, Peter Prokop. He's a returning patron, and he was or still is from Regina Hole.
Huh. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And he was either the pro cop or he is a pro at copulating. I'm not sure what that is, but I know that's a word.
Yeah.
Copulation is a word.
That sounds dirty.
Absolutely it does. I hope that it is, because otherwise it's going to make him sound like he's like a medical professional or a...
Peter Dirty Cop.
Oh.
I don't know if that's what his nickname was last time, but that's what it is now. Okay, well, big F you. We got a couple other ones. And one I'm going to butcher on purpose. The other ones I'll probably just
Okay.
Jacob Benoit. That's Benoit, but it's Benoit.
Is it too soon to say Jacob the Crippler Benoit? Is it? Can we take it back?
We can take it back.
Let's take it back. We're taking it back.
Because Crossface Crippler was his finisher, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're taking it back.
We got it.
Jacob the Crossface Benoit.
I like the Crippler.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And he just... You break him with your hands. Fuck, that was the best promo I've ever heard in my life. That was Benoit's thing in wrestling. He was like, the thing they told him, because he wasn't very good at cutting promos on the mic, right? They just said, just always be rubbing your hands together like you're just ready to fuck somebody up with him, right?
No.
And then at the end, it's like,
Was it because he was
lock him
French?
in.
They didn't like his accent.
No, he wasn't French. He's from Edmonton.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't know his last name was Benoit.
His last name was just Benoit. He's
And now
not
Kevin
at all
Owens.
French.
Kevin Owens, like the most English-sounding last name ever, is from Montreal. And when they go to Montreal or Toronto, he just turns it up. Hey, like that French accent.
Yeah, and you can sort of hear the French accent, but not really. And
You
then when
can
he goes to
like
Quebec, he's-
we can probably hear it whenever,
yeah.
right? When he talks. But when WWE goes to like Montreal and Toronto, usually once or twice a year they'll do shows because those are two of our biggest urban centers. He'll speak French and he'll turn up the accent, right? And everybody loses their mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the patrons.
The patrons, right.
Good name.
Oh,
Next big shout out and FU.
hit me.
Ryan Duganski. Fucking sweet.
Is it like Duggan Ski or Duginski?
Well-
Dugaski?
Duganski. It's fucking whatever you want it to be. It's your show. The future is now.
Duginski? Oh, what are we going to do with Duginski?
Dinkinski. There it is. I heard it. I heard that little bit of accent in there, just like Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
Ryan
Dinkinski.
Dinkinski. Welcome. And of course,
That's why everybody goes to the mountains.
to Dinkinski.
To dink and ski.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
why-
Have you ever been to Banff? It's like the STD capital of the fucking earth.
No.
Everybody dinks and skis. And snowboards.
I should go there.
Ah,
I haven't snowboarded in a long time. I was going to go this year, and then COVID stopped me. I was finally going to get to go to Sunshine, and then COVID shut me right down.
Oh, yeah.
I was-
Well, we joined the club.
Yeah.
Everybody in the nation is already part of that club. We're all affected. Next shout out. Kenneth Alsdorf. He sounds like he's from Kaldheim.
Halsdorf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make like some Vornklex reference.
What about
Vornklex.
Alsdork?
Alsdork?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Kenneth Alsdork.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
AL''S space dork.
Alsdork. Like
Yeah.
possessive?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's Al's whipping boy.
No, because
Does he wear a zipper mask?
Ryan, dork is a whale penis.
Ooh. Definitely zipper mask. We're talking about different things.
It's an anatomically scientific term. I thought you'd know it.
Do you think that he lives in a fjord?
Probably.
Probably. He's from Kaldheim.
Yeah.
Kenneth Alsdork.
I assume everybody lives near the fjord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember Drew Barrymore in Wayne's World? What is it? Wayne's World 1? Where she's like Swedish and she says she wants to make love to him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, best scene in the whole movie. She was hot in that movie, hey?
I was pretty enticed by Tia Carrere in Wayne's World.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't really remember too many other girls other than...
Well, have you seen Wayne's World or Andy Hall? Yeah, they're the same person. Okay, last patron, thank you. This is an easy name, so and it's also my mom's auntie's name, Brad Gale. Gale being my mom's auntie's name, not Brad. Brad Gale. Auntie Gale? I don't know. Can we Auntie G?
I like Auntie G.
I like Auntie G. That kind of sounds like Ali G.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah, there it
Because
is.
Ali G was kind of fun in his day.
Yeah.
Might still be fun. I don't know.
I think so. Sacha Baron Cohen has his comedy, while not growing up, it is very grown up in terms of where he was and how it's evolved. And guy's got like a fucking PhD in like
Thugonomics?
yeah, but an actual PhD in like political science or something. Like
Oh, that's
he's
not
an educated person.
That is not nearly as fun as what I said.
Yeah. Him and John Cena, hey, they're gonna
Yeah.
make a movie together. That actually wouldn't surprise me.
I bet it'd be a good movie.
Sacha Baron Cohen and John Cena.
John Cena, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that'd be pretty good.
And The Rock and Kevin Hart would try and like squeeze in there, hey?
Squeeze in. Nah, John Cena might not let The Rock be in a movie with him.
Are
'cause-
they not friends?
Well, I had this conversation once with some people here at work. Any movie that The Rock is in with somebody who's sort of Rock adjacent, the person who is Rock adjacent immediately just sucks because The Rock is so good. Like when The Rock was in Fast and the Furious,
Yeah.
do you even give a shit that Vin Diesel's there anymore?
Oh.
Of course not. Of course not. The only way that Jason Statham could get any screen time is by being a rival of The Rock. But But everybody knows that The Rock wins those. He wins everything all the time.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're making me rock soft. You're making me soft on The Rock.
You can't be soft on The Rock. It's impossible. He's so
You know
good.
what? I just don't watch movies.
Yeah. Because he makes bad movies less bad. I'm not going to say he makes them good. But there are definitely movies that I would watch and think, man, this movie totally sucks. But it's got The Rock in it. So
Cinematic Cookout Podcast Brando Award for worst action movie star that makes movies good.
The Rock.
No,
he's
but
in a million terrible movies, but they're all good.
Let me rephrase. Makes them so bad that they're good.
Sylvester Stallone.
Is it Sylvester or is it Steve Seagal? Or is it like modern day Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Now, if Steven Seagal had to stop making movies in like the mid-90s, I would say him. But he's been in so many just trash movies now that the scales have tipped.
Oh,
the tails have just
Van Damme's
tipped.
like that too, and his face is all plastic now.
Yeah,
right?
they just didn't give it up. Whereas Stallone, he had like his huge award-winning. You know that this guy's actually good at acting.
Yeah,
but then he was just in a whole bunch of shitty movies.
And I think more than acting, he was in. He was good at writing or awarded for directing Rocky 1, right?
Yeah, like he made some legit ass good movies, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he also made these just
a bunch of really bad ones, and then Expendables came out, and it was like you get pregnant just watching it.
Yeah, and the movie's so freaking bad, but it's so good because you know that it's just Stallone. He just went through like his book of numbers of people that he knows. Like, hey, yo, you want to be in this movie with me?
Yeah, I just watched a thing on GQ with Terry Crews or whatever saying like Sly called me up and he's like, yeah, you want to be in this movie? Yeah, when does it start? We're filming on Tuesday. Pack your bags, you're in the movie. Like, what? What do you mean? Is there a script? You want to be in it or not?
Yeah, and I'll bet you that's how it went with everybody.
Oh, fuck, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Well, those guys are pros. Like, if somebody just called us up and said, hey, you want to do a podcast? We'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so what are we going to talk about? You want to be on it or not? We do.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
when we got there, they'd ask us stuff, and then we'd say things.
Yeah.
We'd get over.
That's it. We would say things like today's deck, but before we get to it...
Oh, my God, there's more?
Not really. Not.
Is it the preview card?
That's tomorrow. We'll get the preview card tomorrow.
Preview card.
We are caught up on Patreon sign-up gifts. Brando's doing altars. And we mentioned on the pre-show that we're caught up. Packs are going out for the Stinky Onion Bag Sack of Pack Crack winners.
Yeah.
There's lots going on in that sentence.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Tomorrow's preview card.
Yeah.
It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be our bonus episode tomorrow where we're doing a mini deck tech. And don't forget, if you want to pick up the bonus card, call time, I think anything and everything at this point, not singles because the whole set's not done, or anything from today's deck, CCO Fusion 5 promo code at fusiongamingonline.com. We didn't mention that yet.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll get you 5% off your order at Fusion, and it lets them know that their partnership with you boys is a fucking good one.
I just made one of those, like, embarrassing orders from them where
it was like a $1-2 card.
Oh no, Ryan. It's one of those ones where the shipping on the order costs more than the card, and the shipping was like $2. And I ordered all these like 25-cent commons and stuff, just because it just so happened that we didn't have them locally, and I just didn't open a lot of Ixalan or whatever these shitty cards were.
I hate
like,
that.
I need this one Ixalan common or this one Amonkhet common. I just... Fine, and I used the CCO promo code CCO Fusion 5, saved myself 30 cents.
Ooh, yeah, you could have gotten one extra single.
I could have, but I
road not taken.
You know how many I got?
How many?
10. I got 10 cards for under $2.
Oh man, well you got to get that max value, son.
I'm super excited for what the deck they're going in. I told you about it before we came into the show to do the show today. We'll talk about it on the show at a later date. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, very excellent. Very excellent. Now, we've got a Nethroi deck.
Now, is it a Nethroi combo, get all the stuff back, blow everybody out of the water deck?
No.
Or did the Deech provide us with something a little more interesting?
Well, Nethroi is always going to provide you value because you mutate him. You just cast him for mutate because you can do that out of the command zone as per mutate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get a bunch of your stuff back, total power 10 or less for free from Nethroi's mana cost, right?
That's right.
Now, not a combo list, which is very easy to do with Nethroi, sort of like Protean Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Just pick small stuff that combos all together.
You could probably use Protean Hulk's actual combo.
Yeah.
Just got one extra step of decking yourself first.
Yeah, which is, who cares?
Yeah.
We can do that. We're in black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that, though.
Not doing that.
We mentioned C's and D's. In the hint was tribal something, double tribal, right? That is the C's and the D's, and Nethroi's colors being white and green is cats. That's the C.
Right.
That would then make the D dogs.
Dogs. So there's two tribes, cats and dogs. Nethroi himself is a cat.
Yeah.
Itself.
I didn't give that as a hint. That would have gave it away.
Yeah, that's too easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I guess dogs can be beasts. If you've ever seen Cujo, dogs can be nightmares. So it all kind of works out.
There it is. You know what? Fuck, I have seen Cujo. Like when I was 7.
Nice.
Yeah. Very scary.
Yeah, it scared me too. Because I saw it when I was a little kid. And like dogs were way bigger than me on average. Because I was very small when I was a kid. And I was not prepared. Especially when my aunt and uncle got themselves a great big Rottweiler.
Oh, yeah?
Sweetest old dog you've ever seen in your life. But of course, I just saw Cujo. I think Cujo was a jowly thing that carries brandy to people who are lost in the mountains. St. Bernard, I think.
Yeah. He could grow claws and climb trees and shit.
No,
he ate a whole cat.
That's a different movie. That's Man's Best Friend or something.
What?
Yeah, that is a different movie.
Oh.
The super dog, the Lance Henriksen movie where the dog's like got a laser eye and shit. Yeah, that isn't Cujo. Cujo's just a dog that's rabid that traps a mom and a son in their car and won't let them out.
It doesn't climb a tree?
No.
Like not once?
No.
It doesn't eat a whole cat?
No.
Out of a tree? While it's living?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Well, if it's not that, I've never seen Cujo.
Cinema Cookout Podcast here for you.
Only the greatest. Should we do a deck?
I suppose we can do a
All
deck.
right, this Cujo ass mother deck.
Okay, the deck. Now, this deck suffers from two things that we have to keep in mind while we talk about it. The first one is it's a double tribal list. Therefore, it is not a single tribal list, which means it's a little bit unfocused in the creature suite, and some of the creatures will affect some of them and not others.
Okay, that sounds like a terrible tribal deck. Welcome to CCO Nation.
It's not bad, because both are still good, and I think that I don't want to say he's divvied them up across the deck enough to keep them good, but like, you can see that some are here for this, and some are basically just here for thematic reasons, and he doesn't lean into them too hard. You can see where your wins are going to come from.
Sure.
And the other thing is, it's an Abzan deck, so of course there's a whole bunch of +1/+1 counter nonsense, because that's what Abzan does.
Oh, and Abzan or +1/+1 counters don't discriminate against cats or dogs.
Yeah, and that's not a weakness. It's just a thing that if you're playing an Abzan list, you know there's going to be a bunch of +1/+1 counter nonsense, so make sure that you have some damn counters to put on your shit.
Yes, like the CCO dice when they become available. Wink, wink.
Yes,
very
nudge,
much
nudge.
so.
So let's start with some just regular stuff. We'll start with some bigger backyard.
Bigger backyard. That is the ramp section, and these are the custom categories, of course. Big thanks to anybody who submits decks to have custom categories.
And bigger thanks to people like Deech, who actually explained to us what the categories are.
In his email, yeah. Because he very much named them things that isn't like ramp and pump spells and interaction.
Yes, because once you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
But
bigger backyard. We're making our yard, our land bigger.
So we got Rampant Growth, Primal Growth, Nissa's Expedition, Colony Heart Expedition, Harrow, Growing Rights of Itlamok, and Grow from the Ashes.
Yeah, lots of growths and expeditions. Everybody knows what Harrow does, and Growing Rights, it's a creature thing, but it flips also to Gaia's Cradle. What is Grow from the Ashes? Let's spend at least 10 seconds on that.
Grow from the Ashes is a sorcery for green 2 with kicker of 2. Search your library for a basic land card, put it into play, then shuffle your library so it comes into play untapped. If this spell was kicked, instead search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them into play, then shuffle your library.
So for 5 mana, we get 2 things untapped.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. And you would say, well, how come not Sky Shroud Claim? It puts forests into play untapped, and we're playing a green inclusive deck. Well, if you're not playing lands that have 2 land types, one of which being forest, this is good because it allows you to run a more budget mana base or it allows your fixing to be in the form of like Command Tower or like Forbidden Orchard and Exotic Orchard that don't have land types, and then a bunch of basics, and you can still get basics with your Growth from the Ashes, Rampant Growth, Primal Growth, Harrow, Colony Heart Expedition. So I think that's fine if you're running a budget mana base.
I'm into it. I should pick some of those up. I
There it
like
is.
it. I like that card.
Dominarski. If Dominaria was like in Poland or something.
All right, let's talk about some who broke it is the removal section. You want to?
Yep.
Let's talk about some how are we going to kill stuff. We've got a rambunctious mutt, our first dog.
Yeah, it's cross-categorical.
Wow.
It could be a dog, but it could be also removal. Double time. This is dog working double hard.
And this card is worth 1 cent. Why is it only worth 1 cent, Ryan? Hit him with the truth.
Oh, man. This is a 5-drop, 3/4 dog. When it enters the battlefield, target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls is destroyed. I don't know why I read it like that, but
it is what it is. Rain of Thorns.
Ooh, 6-drop sorcery. Choose one or more. Destroy target, artifact, and or enchantment, and or land.
Cool.
I think you just choose all of them every time, right?
Absolutely. You
Oh,
do.
yeah. Fuck yeah, you do.
Quasali Slingers.
This is a cat.
It's a cat.
It's a cat and a removal. It got reach, 3/5 for 5. When it or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, you may destroy up to one, or you may destroy target artifact or enchantment.
That's just good.
I think that goes in cat tribal, and we're gonna find lots of things that go in cat tribal from the C17 cat commander deck.
Catmander.
Yeah, so that one is, I think, relatively affordable still as far as like pre-cons of years gone by go.
If you want to pick up an Erebos deck, I think you'd be doing okay. And there's some pretty decent stuff in there,
Yeah,
too.
and since 2017 when that came out, we've had 3 years of cats being bolstered by set releases, like you say, about 1 or 2 relevant cats per set release.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's lots.
You can build a cat tribal deck at this point, I would argue, that isn't the same cat tribal deck as somebody else has built.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, instead of go with black and go with red, and you played Ren and Seri, the cat dog commander,
Right.
that even opens up more avenues and still gives you the white and the green that the cat tribal proper does.
You can still do cat tribal, but you can also lean a little bit heavier into dogs, who definitely favored the Boros.
Yeah.
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 How about Kasali Pride Mage?
Oh, yeah, this is classic cat, hey? This is a gooder. This is a 2-drop for 2. It's got Exalted, which is gravy, because it's got 1 sacrifice and disenchant. Destroy an artifact or enchantment. We're seeing a trend here.
Good ass card. How about Hush Mercy?
Harsh
Mercy.
Hush Mercy. Shh. This is an onslaught rare. I cracked this from booster packs back in the day. This is a sorcery for white 2. Each player chooses a creature type. Destroy all creatures that aren't of that type. And they can't be regenerated. So we would just choose like cat maybe, right?
Yeah, you'd probably pick cat in this deck.
Yeah, this card does get worse since we're running dual tribal creature types.
Yeah.
But if you are playing a tribal deck and do include white, cats, soldiers, birds, angels, this is a cool card. It's maybe not going to get what you want, but it's going to get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. The key is it's never going to kill those creatures that you want to kill, because your opponents are always going to save them.
Yeah.
Which is the downfall to cards like that. Enlightened Ascetic.
It's a 1/1 for 2, cat monk. Okay. Enters the battlefield. It disenchants, right?
It does. It knows cat foo. It just destroys an enchantment.
Oh, it half disenchants. Half enchants? Oh, that doesn't work.
End hostilities.
Oh, yeah. This is 5-drop. Destroy all creatures and all permanents attached to creatures, which would be equipment.
Or enchantments.
Yeah, mostly the enchantments would fall off into the graveyard unless they're bestow enchantments, which would turn into creatures, but this will get those too.
Those bullshit
That's a
enchantments.
gooder.
Austere Command.
Oh, yeah, that one. One of the top like sweepers in the format.
Yeah.
6-drop, choose 1 or 2. You get artifacts, enchantments, big creatures or small creatures.
And Aura Shards.
And Aura Shards. Play a creature, destroy an artifact or enchantment. That's a good-ass card.
We have ways to kill artifacts and enchantments in this deck, hey?
Several.
Nothing is safe.
Nothing is safe
It's like
if it's an artifact or an enchantment.
What else we got here? We got. How about the fatten them up? Let's just do the Abzan stuff.
Yeah, fatten them up is feeding them kibbles and bits for food to make them fat.
And then, well, no, it's to make them jacked.
Oh,
because they're doing. You ever seen a cat do a push-up? Because when they do push-ups, they get jacked, man. They get like their toes kind of turn in a little bit because their muscles are so big. They walk around looking like little bulldogs, except they're cats and they're all
bull cats.
Shit. Hell yeah,
bull cat. That sounds
awful. The first card in this section is collective effort.
I think this should be injecting them with roids, growth hormone, the same shit that we feed to cows to make them big. Okay. Collective effort. This is what is the ability? Escalate? Escalate allows you to tap an untapped creature you control, and then you can choose additional modes, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a 3-drop sorcery that you can tap stuff to get more stuff, and you choose one or more. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater.
Yeah.
That's good. Or destroy target enchantment.
Par
for the course at this point.
Yes.
Or put a +1 counter on each creature target player controls.
Probably ourselves.
We would definitely choose ourselves. Especially because this is a sorcery.
Why would you ever pick another player with that?
If somebody's trying to alpha strike in, they're a couple points short. You can just throw a couple counters on their creatures if they're not attacking you. And then you just fucking sweep the board right after. You kill somebody with somebody else's creatures and you sweep. That's why instants like that are good.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Cathar's Crusade. We all know Cathar's Crusade at this point.
Everything gets counters and fucking makes them big.
Ajani the Greathearted.
Ooh, this is Ajani from War of the Spark. The static is creatures have Vig.
That is relevant in the deck.
Yes. Relevant in all creature decks, I think.
Yeah.
+1 is gain 3 life.
Yeah.
-2, is put a +1 counter on each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each other P-dubs you control.
That's pretty good.
Of which there's 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few because there's lots of Ajanis in here.
Because he's a cat.
Because he's a cat.
Yes.
And he's good in tribal decks like this.
Yeah.
Ajani Mentor of Heroes, speaking of Ajani.
Yeah, this is the good one, right? But the text is too small to read. All I know is the -8 is gain 100 fucking life. That's all I know about that card.
Green, white, 3, 4 loyalty, +1. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. And then it's also got another +1. You look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You take an aura, a creature, or a planeswalker card from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand.
Oh, so it's kind of like card advantage because it's plussing him, but we're probably using him for the counters.
Most likely. Let's keep going with the Ajani train. We got Ajani the Steadfast.
He's got a -2 to put a +1 counter on stuff, right?
+1 counter and loyalty counter on each other planeswalker you control.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's got the +1, makes your dudes get bigger. They gain first strike, Vig, and lifelink.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Maybe one or all. It's 1. And then the last thing is you get an emblem where if a source would deal damage to you or a planeswalker you control, prevent all but one of that damage. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, too. I think you play him, you minus him, then you plus him. Or you play him, you minus him, you play another Ajani, you plus that Ajani to get a counter on Ajani Steadfast so you can minus him again, and then you plus that Ajani, and then you fucking just beat in. It's just like a Johnny Tickfest ups and downs, right? Get your fucking CCO dice when they're available, okay?
Yeah, you're going to need them. Yeah.
Last of Johnny.
Is Goldmane.
This
OG.
Is OG Johnny. Oh, Johnny. Not even a Johnny.
I like it. I like that. I like what you just said there. Yeah.
His +1 is gain 2 life.
That sucks.
Yeah, he can pound sand. His -1, though, is put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And then they get like vigilance or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then his -6 is you get an avatar, power and toughness, each equal to the number of life you have.
Yes.
Sarah Avatar or the new Sarah Avatar with Encore.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever that is. Sarah Avatar.
Whatever. +1/+1 counters. We're doing Abzan stuff. Other Abzan things is when stuff dies, you're going to bring him back from the G-dub. G-dub? G-Y. The graveyard is what I'm trying to say. I spell good word Englishy.
Yes.
Very good at it. So let's talk about how we protect/resurrect our cats and dogs.
Yeah, and there's not even a 9 lives card in here.
Good.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not very good.
You got to build around that card, right?
Let's make another Stephen King reference. We already talked about Cujo.
Oh, yeah?
This is the Pet Cemetery. Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically Pet Cemetery, not Pet Cemetery 2, because that movie sucks. Teamer Sabretooth.
I thought you were going to say Pet Cemetery 2 Hyper Cemetery.
Oh, I wish. I wish it was that. It's not even worth that. Stephen King always does the psychotic bullies thing.
Yeah.
And he pushes it to fucking 47 in the in Pet Sematary 2. There's a thing where, like, the bully kidnaps this kid's kitten and he's going to throw it into the fucking traffic on the highway. And then when the kid dares to stop him from just murdering a small baby animal, the bully flips his dirt bike over and starts revving the back tire up and tries to push the kid's face into it.
Ooh, that's not good.
Like, what the hell? Like, where did Stephen King grow up that people did that to him? Were the bullies in Maine that hardcore?
Is that where he's from?
I assume so. All of his stories are set in Maine, so I just assume he's from there. But it's just like, what traumatized you, Stephen
You keep
King?
next leveling me. You say something like that, and I'm like, hey, fuck, I didn't know that. And you're like, me neither. What the fuck, man? Oh, man.
Tamer Sabertooth.
Somebody will let us know in the comments.
Yes, there's some aficionados out there.
Yeah. He 4-drop for 3. Sorry, a 4-drop for 4. Fuck that. He's a 4-drop. He costs 4, Ryan. Get it together. Yeah. A 4/3 4-drop. You could pay 2 and return another creature to your hand. If you do, Tamer Sabertooth becomes indestructible. And it's a cat, which is important.
So it saves your best thing or puts the Nethroi pile back into your hand.
Oh, that's good.
And then
Put that Nethroi pile back into your fucking hand.
Remutate it. So if you can do big mana, you can do big things.
Oh, is there creatures that ETB and give us mana that we can just Infi bounce Nethroi and get everything back from the graveyard and sacrifice it? That would be Nethroi combo.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
That's not what we're doing, Ryan. We have Aluris the Dream Den.
Yeah, that is a cat nightmare. Hey,
it is a nightmare.
That's a fucking cat.
It is a nightmare.
It's a 3/2 life linker for 3. That's Orzhov 1 hybrid. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard, of which we have lots because there's a bunch of cats and some other various things that cost 2.
Well, even that Qasali Pride Mate.
That's a good one. You get. Can you imagine? You got Luris, Aura Shards, and Qasali Pride Mage.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you can cast your Qasali Pride Mage from your yard with Luris every turn, killing an artifact or an enchantment, and then you sacrifice a Qasali Pride Mage after you attack with your Luris to gain life and get an Exalted trigger, so you're gaining 4 life per turn and destroying 2 artifacts or enchantments per turn for the cost of 3 mana.
It's fine.
It's pretty good.
It's medium.
It's pretty good. Heaven forbid somebody's playing an artifact creature deck, right? It's like Wormcoil who? I'll fucking destroy it, and then your guy... Then I'll destroy the Death Touch one, and then you'll block with the lifelink one. It'll die. I'll sacrifice my fucking thing, and then I'll do it again next turn.
Well played.
Yeah, there it is.
I like that lot. How about Hungry Lynx? I like this one too.
Yeah, that's another cat. 2/2 for 2. We could get this back with... Who did we just talk about? Luris. Cats have protection from rats. I don't know if that's relevant, but...
It could be Relentless Rats. Domri Rats. Damia Rats.
Yes, it was the year of the rat last year, too, so maybe there's some of those secret layer ones. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent creates... Oh, this is why. 1/1 black rat creature token with Death Touch.
With Death Touch.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a typhoid rat.
Yeah, fucking that's
a plague rat.
It's literally Typhoid Rat, the card.
Yeah.
Right? And whenever a rat dies, you put a +1 counter on each cat you control. So this is the Lord. Yeah, each.
Lord of Cats.
This is the Hungry Lynx Cat Lord.
I'm into it. Eerie Ultimatum. We knew this one was coming.
Oh, yeah. 7 mana, get everything back from your yard, right?
Read the mana cost, though.
Green, black, white.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nothing specific about that.
No.
That's
I
fine.
mean, whatever.
And it's returning a number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to your battlefield. It gets land, it gets enchantments, it gets creatures.
Oh, yeah, it gets everything.
Eerie Ultimatum is so goddamn good.
That is a powerful Magic card.
Yes, it is a real Magic card that people should play.
Yep.
Bronze Line.
Yeah. A 3/3 for 2. You can pay green-white, and it gains indestructible until end of turn, and when it dies, return it to the battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with enchant creature, and the enchanted creature has green-white. Enchanted creature gains indestructible until end of turn and loses all other abilities.
So it kind of turns it into a Bronze-Eyed Lion that's indestructible for a second.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically what it does. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's okay. It's a little bit unwieldy and difficult to conceptualize sometimes, but it's a fine card. Also, we have another Ajani in Ajani Strength of the Pride.
Holy titty ass. That sounds cat-ish.
He has a giant head in this one. Look how big his fucking head is.
Well, have you ever seen a lion or a tiger in real life?
Yeah, they have big heads.
Their heads are massive.
Well, I want my Ajani to have a smaller head and a big, beefy-ass body.
A big beefy ass.
At some point, does he not suplex a dragon into a volcano? Isn't that like his gimmick? Isn't that the thing that he's known for?
Oh yeah, his finishing move is volcano suplex.
Yeah, suplexing a dragon into a fucking volcano. Like, you expect that person to have like shoulders that are bigger than his head.
His -2 is you create a cat creature token, and whenever...
The -2 is you get into Johnny's Pride Mate.
Oh, yeah, you get a 2/2, and whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Yes.
That's what we care about.
And then the +1 is you gain life equal to the number of creatures you control plus the number of planeswalkers you control. So he makes the Pridesmates bigger by himself.
Yeah, not terrible. And then he's got a 0 instead of an ultimate, right?
Correct. And it goes like this. If you have 15 life more than your starting life total, you can do this 0 ability, which is exile the planeswalker and each artifact and creature your opponents control.
Ooh. That's okay. We might actually just be able to go 4, 0 him, and exile the board and just crash in,
and then
right?
bash wholesale.
Because it's just what they control. Man, planeswalkers are so hard to do audibly, hey?
Yeah, you got to look at them sometimes.
Yeah, it's so much easier to just do them on YouTube and say, it's on the fucking screen. I know that Joe can do that for us, but lots of people being a podcast first need to actually hear. So sorry, everybody, bear with us. Oh, man.
Well, let's get to the creatures, Ryan.
Let's do some creech.
We call them Cat Party.
Oh, there's another Johnny. There's two more Johnnies in there. What the fuck?
We'll do them last.
Okay.
Release the dogs.
Release the dogs. Create 4 dogs that are 1/1s.
Regal Caracal.
Does that pump cats, right?
Yeah.
+1 and lifelink.
Correct. It's Gangbang Commander, but
yes.
cats.
Oh, there's got to be a funny... It'll sound dirty. Let's just move on.
Let's continue. Pride Sovereign.
That gets +1 for each cat you control, so that's Cat of Arms. Oh, got there.
And it can also make cat tokens.
Oh, okay.
With lifelink. You can do that as well. Nakadal War Pride.
Oh, you like this one.
This
is a 3/3, and creatures have to block it or something, right?
It must be blocked by one creature. Exactly one creature.
Yeah.
And whenever it attacks, you get a copy of it attacking that player it's attacking for each creature they control.
Oh, yeah, and then a couple cards in here make that card better. We'll talk about that in a sec. In the twinsies category.
Yeah. Leon and War Leader.
That's a 4/4. When it attacks, you create 2 1/1 white creature tokens with lifelink that are tapped and attacking. That's kind of like Beetleback Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Beetleback Cat.
I like it. Cub Warden.
That's a mutator. When it mutates, you get a cat.
2
cats.
2 cats.
So we're Nethroi and Cub Warden mutating. If we got to bounce them with our Temur Sabertooth, we're in good shape.
I'm into it. Brimaz, King of Oreskos.
He makes cat tokens too, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a 3/4 Vig for 3. Never mind all the other abilities. He's already good because he's a cat.
He's a 3/4 Vig. Whenever he attacks, you get a cat. Whenever he blocks, you get a cat.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. A Johnny Caller of the Pride.
Ooh, his +1 is put a +1/+1 counter on target creature.
Yep.
-3 is target creature gains flying and double strike. Ooh, yeah, it gives a new meaning to jump my dude.
Yes.
And his -8 is put X 2/2 cat creature tokens into play, where X is your life total. That's a pretty good one in this deck.
It's not too bad.
Can you imagine that with like your gets +1 with Cats Guy and Cathar's Crusade? Yeah, I'll get like 25 2/2s. They're all 80s.
27s, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. A Johnny Adversary of Tyrants. Another big-headed Johnny.
Big-headed Johnny. Yeah, this is 4-drop, 4 loyalty. +1 is put a +1 on each creature?
On each up to 2 of your creatures.
Okay, so 2 creatures, let's say. His -2 is return target creature with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the B. So he kind of does the same thing as Nethroi, but like he's like little Nethroi.
Mini Throi.
Mini big head Throi. And his -7 is you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, put 3 1/1 white cat creature with lifelink.
Yep.
Onto the battlefield.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
all these different freaking. There's cats with vigilance. There's cats with lifelink. There's 2 cats with lifelink and vigilance. There's 2. There's so many fucking cat tokens.
Yeah.
How do you keep track of all of them?
Maybe we'll make a CCO cat token. It goes without saying though, The twinsies category, if we're moving into it.
Yes.
Doubling Season is in this deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a Primal Vigor as well.
That's Doubling Season, but it works for everybody, right?
Yes. It's
okay.
Dangerous Doubling
Yeah,
Season.
look at the price tag on that card, too. That's from C17, too.
Oh, 35. Oh,
Or, sorry, that's from C13. My bad.
They could reprint that.
Oh, yeah, that one's got to be reprinted alongside the one from Jumpstart that does whatever, that token plus one doubly one from Jumpstart.
Yeah.
Put them in the next Precon Wizards.
Do it. And the last one's Wild Pair. That's whenever a creature comes into play, you add up its power and its toughness. You can look through your library for another creature that has that same number of total power and toughness, put it into play. It's a little bit hard to use with +1/+1 counters and lords and shit, because when it comes into play, you can layer it with the tokens from Cather's Crusade, and you can do all sorts of shit, so you can find all kinds of crap. You can do stupid stuff with Wild
because
Pair.
it triggers, right? And it's going to look at the power and toughness of the creature that you cast from your hand.
When the ability resolves.
That's actually good, because you can decide what you want. Know thy deck, I'll say.
Yes.
If you need it to be if you need to find total power and toughness 2 or 4, right? If you need to find your Kasali Pride Mage, or if you need to find a beater, resolve your Cathar's Crusade triggers first, or after you resolve your Wild Pair to get the appropriate card. Yeah.
It's a lot more versatile than people think, but it's also it's tricky to keep track of sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a hard one sometimes. Should we do the Make It Rain?
Oh yeah, this is my favorite section of the deck.
We got Selvala's Stampede.
This is a card, I think we've played this card one time in CCO history, and this is a sorcery from Conspiracy 1 or 2 or whatever, and it's green 4, and it's got Council's Dilemma.
Oh, man.
Starting with you, each player votes for wild or free. Both of those sound like I don't have any clothes on.
Yeah.
Okay. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card for each wild vote. Ooh. Put those creature cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. Okay, fine. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. That's kind of like Tooth and Nail. Cheaper, and it kind of makes your opponents decide, but that's a cool one.
What's the right vote? You know, like when people play that blue one.
Time or money.
Yeah.
You always pick money, so you don't give them extra turns, but they get to steal your shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck's that card called?
Don't remember.
People are yelling
They're
at
screaming it.
They're screaming it.
I play it, but I don't remember the name of the damn card. What do you always pick there? Do you let them put the permanent from their hand onto play? Is that what you probably go with to avoid?
Yeah, that's tough because it's like
hard
how many cards are left in their hand?
Yeah.
If everybody just picks free, then it's just like, oh yeah, everybody picks free. You put 3 things on, and you have 1 card in your hand. It's like a fucking Path to Exile that you're holding up. It's like, oh shit. I suppose you wouldn't cast it in that scenario.
Yeah, that'd be a bad situation. That requires some build up. I like that card.
I like that one.
You know another card I like?
Oh baby,
Patriarch's Bidding.
Yeah, I passed up on a foil one when they were in Vegas last.
I got a foil signed one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't even remember where I got it. I think I bought it from a guy locally, like
7,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from Onslaught 2. This is our second Onslaught card. This one, better than the last one.
Yeah.
This is a sorcery for black 3. Each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creature cards from the chosen type from their graveyard to the battlefield. This is actually from the same cycle of cards from Onslaught. You choose a creature type, and then everybody gets to do with that creature type.
I like it.
Yep.
Kindred Summons.
Ooh. Choose a creature type. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards of the chosen type, where X is the number of creatures you control of that type. Ooh, okay. Put those cards onto the B, and the rest gets shuffled in. This, for 7 mana, doubles the creature type that you choose. You choose cats, you got 4 cats. Well, now you got 8 cats.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Like that lots. Genesis Wave. We all know Genesis Wave.
Pay X, reveal X, get everything X or less onto the B.
Genesis Storm.
Reveal a 6-drop, reveal until you hit a permanent card. You get it. You copy it for each time you've cast your commandy this game. And Nethroi Commander casting, you could Infi cast your entire deck with that card.
If you're doing the combo.
The Nethroi combo. Yeah, I suppose with Kindred Summons or Genesis Wave, if you have infinite mana and ways to get stuff back, you could do it with those cards too.
Yeah.
But this one allows you just by mutating and bouncing with like Temur Sabertooth.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. That makes it rain, as you say.
And the last category in the thing, well, I guess there's top dog. There's dogs.
There's dogs. We forgot dogs.
We forgot about how do you forget about the damn dogs? We're going to skip over the card drawing stuff. We'll just hit them real fast with the card drawing stuff. The Season of Growth, Rishkar's Expertise, Return of the Wild Speaker, Path of Discovery, Keeper of Fables, Guardian Project. Boom, you're drawing cards. Let's talk about dogs.
Yeah, newsflash. They're all fucking green.
The first dog card is a cat.
Is that right?
These are the lords. The top dog are the lords, but it's in the top dog, and I thought it was funny with the cat.
Oh, man. That was a drink spitting type of laugh, because I'm sitting here just like looking out the window like, and then the first fucking dog is a cat. Oh, man. Yeah.
And it's Pride Malkin.
Enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on target creature, and each creature you control with a +1 on it has Trampski.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good for a common, hey? Like, it's a solid common.
Yeah.
It's a good card. You could play that in not cat decks. That's a good card.
Oh, man, I so wish that costed 1 mana less. Or no mana. Or, sorry, no colorless mana. Fucking right into Animar. Anyways.
Pack Leader.
That is other dogs you control get +1/+1, and it costs just 2 mana. 2 mana, 2/2. Lord.
Yeah.
That's a gooder. You find that one with your fucking wild pair.
Yeah.
And it only has 2 power when it's in the graveyard. All your dogs have 1 less power than on the battlefield with Nethroi, getting them back, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It also has whenever it attacks, prevent all combat damage to be dealt this turn to dogs you control.
Oh, yeah. That's also relevant.
Metallic Mimic.
You just choose cat or dog, and that creature type gets +1, right?
Correct. Longshot Squad.
Don't Google that.
It's a hound.
It's now a dog archer. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so that has Outlast, which is green 1, tap, put a +1 counter on a creature you control?
On it.
Oh, on it. It outlasts other things. Yeah, I get it now. So it would become a 4/4. Each creature you control with a +1 on it gets reach.
Protect from them flying things. I'm into it. King of the Pride.
Other cats you control get +2/+1. It gives them all Savannah Lion bonus.
Man, you know what you should do? You should paint this card so it's like a cat wearing a Savannah Lion, like a cape, or having
wearing a sweatshirt, but the hood is like a Simba fucking lion's mane.
That'd be neat. Or they got like a Savannah Lion, like a gun, like shooting it. That'd be
shooting Savannah Lions.
That'd be sweet.
Oh, I like that one.
How about Kahira the Orphan Guard?
Oh, this is another companion that isn't a companion. Vigilance, and each creature you control that's a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast gets +1 and Vig. So that's like every fucking thing in our deck, right?
Except for the dog.
Well, yeah, but our dogs also have other creature types. Sometimes.
Some of them, yeah. Jazal Goldmane. Another goddamn Goldmane.
Yeah, goddamn, this is Johnny's brother. It wasn't me, it was Jazal, I swear. I'm telling Mom you hit me. This is a 4/4 first striking cat warrior for 4. You pay white 3. Attacking creature control get +X until end of turn where X is the number of attacking creatures.
Get there.
Yes, this for like 4 mana than 5 mana is gonna fucking win. I've never swung in with with a Jazal
and not killed somebody,
or not at all ever, because it's immediately fucking killed as soon as I try to attack with it.
Those are the 2 situations I have also run into. But if you want to slap lips into dirt,
yes,
there it is. You want a butthole to just immediately pucker all the way shut, Jazal Goldmane with like a fucking lightning greaves on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby. Feline Sovereign.
Ooh, yeah. Cats have +1 and protection from dogs.
Sure.
And then whenever a cat you control something dies,
deals combat damage to a player. You disenchant something that they control.
Oh, yeah. Right on theme.
Right on theme. Felidar Sovereign. What the fuck?
We're playing a life gain deck with all them Ajani's.
It's a cat.
Yes, it is. You draw the Ajani half of your deck, and all of a sudden you're just gaining life, and you're like, oh, fuck, Felidar Sovereign. Why not? It's a 6-drop, 4/6 Vig flyer. If you have 40 or more life, you just win.
It's got antlers. How is it a cat?
Well, it's also a beast. What the fuck is Nethroi? That's Nethroi's brother. That's like Jazal and Ajani. It's Felidar and Nethroi.
And the last one is an anal lock bumkin.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That has Outlast as well. Put a +1 counter on it by tapping and paying 2. Each creature you control with a +1 on it has first strike, and that is a dog soldier.
Into it.
Yeah, there it is.
I guess the last card, we're going to just mention, is that a cat? Yes, it is, because we're playing Conspiracy. Enchantment, black, 3, comes in, choose a creature type. All creatures you own that aren't in play, creature spells that you control, and creatures you control are the chosen type.
Yeah, you choose cat, and then you're not playing dual tribal anymore with those a couple dogs.
Correct.
Every cat gets its day.
Nice.
See what I did there?
I did, and I liked it.
Okay,
I saw it, and I liked it.
Let's move to some strengths and weaknesses real quick, and then we'll do maybe a spice calculator or something, right?
Sure.
Okay. Non-typical cat, dog, commander colors.
Agreed.
That's a strength. I like playing things that are not as expected, not the typical, not the norm. Oh, Ren and Seri. Oh, fuck, it's going to be every other one that I've seen ever, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a cool Nethroi deck in itself, and I think that Nethroi might be a really cool sleeper tribal commander, especially like this.
Yeah.
Because you can get your dudes and your lords back because they're small, and when they go back into play, they're real big.
Yes, that's cool.
I play slivers in Nethroi because all of the slivers are 1/1s, but when they come back into play, they're like 9/9s.
Yeah, you get
they're all lords.
10 slivers back, and all of a sudden they're 10/10s.
Exactly.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you go, hey, what are you playing? Cats and dogs. Oh, okay. And then you whip out your Nethroi, and it's like, hey, cool.
Neat.
What the fuck, right?
Yeah, like this is going to be a deck that you can play at basically any casual table, and people are going to be like, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad I played a game with that deck. I like that.
I like that. This is a personal one of mine because I like when people do custom categories for us.
Yeah.
But when you do custom categories and you show a new player this deck on a computer screen, you can start to like be a little bit expressive and teach them that this is what the format's about. We can make these fun categories to represent things in game, and it's not really role playing, but it's a great way to make the deck feel your own, thematic, unique to you, and that is synonymous with the Commander format.
It's a teaching tool where you take something that might be a little bit stapley, and you might not immediately attribute some kind of flavorful thing to it, like a rampant growth, like rampant growth cats and dogs. It doesn't even make sense. No, it's making the yard bigger so that your cats and your dogs have more room to run around.
Yeah, more room for pooping.
It's a great, yes. Pooping on opponents and in general, because that's what dogs do.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Now,
it's a teaching tool, and it's a good way to teach about, like you say, the fun of the format. I like that.
yeah, I like that. That's a good strength, I'm telling you.
Yeah, good on you, Deech.
Advocating for fun, like I said last week. Final strength. The Commander provides longevity, whereas somewhere like Arabo, Roar of the World,
Yes. Gets blown out
yeah, you might be able to kill one person real fucking fast.
really fast.
It turns out there's a couple more people that'll just stomp your dink into the dirt.
And now they're onto you, and they can just take you off being able to do that.
Yeah, this deck, whether it be cat dog tribal or just cat tribal with black for additional longevity like the Patriarch's Bidding and Nethroi, give you longevity. And most of that longevity is in Nethroi, but there is more options if you want to cut some dogs and add some more reanimates, getter backers to play the long game that black allows you to play if you're still wanting to play like aggro Selesnya cats.
It certainly gives you a leg up over other, what's the word? Like
4 legs up,
yes.
9 lives up.
It'll put you up over other tribal decks that kind of get blown out by that mid-game wrath and have a hard time rebuilding because you overextended to get your big swing in or whatever it is you're doing. This deck definitely does in its commander have that value.
How many times on turn, 5 or 6 in Arabo have you gone like, take 27, you're dead because you took like 18 the turn before, and then immediately after you say go and like the player that you just killed doesn't go, the next player goes, Wrath of God.
Yep.
Right? And then your next turn, now you can go, Nethroi, get all my shit back.
That's why I don't play Arabo anymore.
Yeah, God, can you imagine Concordant Crossroads? You go, Concordant Crossroads, Nethroi, get all my shit back, kill you for killing all my guys.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Think you're smart, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'll show you who's smart.
Yeah. Okay, we'll flip over to the weakness here. I want to say, question mark, based on what we just talked about, the aggro problem?
Yes.
Still gets blown out. If you get blown out again and all of a sudden Nethroi costs like
9.
Yeah, it costs 7 the first time.
Yeah.
And
So
then
it is
9 the
9.
second time. In a deck that doesn't have enough ramp. There's no Soul Ring. There's no 1-drop. There's like 7 ramp spells. Maybe there should be 10 or 11, right? So be aware. You're going to get blown out. This is Commander. You're playing creatures. You're playing aggro. adjust accordingly if your meta is heavy on wraths.
Yeah, I also think it might be a little bit light on creatures, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah?
Because you're playing, 7 or 8 planeswalkers that don't do anything unless you have a bunch of creatures.
Yeah, some of the planeswalkers give you creatures, but some of them put +1s or gain you life. So it's like...
Some of them have to survive for a while before they can give you creatures.
Yeah,
they don't really do anything to stick around. So you got to make the most of the stuff that you have, and sometimes what you have is going to be a bunch of planeswalkers that gain you life and don't do anything else.
Yeah. Okay. Last weakness. And I'm not ragging on the deck.
Hell no.
Because I do like it, and that's why we picked it. Do dogs give you what the cats lack to give you? What I mean is, when we include dogs to get like the release the dogs, or the loyal guardian, or the one that destroys artifacts or enchantments when it comes into play, are we lacking anything in the cat tribe that the dogs give us?
No.
I don't think we are, which raises the question, other than like for thematic purposes, why do we run dogs instead of just Abzan, Nethroi, cat tribal? Or, like you said at the top of the show, are we diluting the potency of the aggro cat plan that is so well supported at this point in time?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
And we're doing it for thematic fun reasons.
Fun reasons, so it's not like eliminate the player that pissed us off last game by turn 4 and then just get killed next, and us and that player are both sitting out for the next hour.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah. The reason that the one category is called Make It Rain is because the name of the deck is Raining Cats and Dogs.
Yes.
And it can't be raining cats and dogs if you're not playing dogs. So you say, I'm going to make it rain cats and dogs. Cool.
I'm going to make it rain cats. Yeah, it doesn't have the
Yeah,
same
and the
ring.
deck has cats and it has dogs, and it's a fun casual deck, and that's the point. So yeah, it's not optimized because those dogs don't need to be there. You could cut them for cats, or just cut them for just Sol Rings and Beast Withins and Generous Gifts and
Oh yeah, the staples, right?
Like Abzan has a fuck ton of removal that kills creatures too, and not just artifacts.
Yeah.
And
Hey, I got you on this real quick. $484 price tag for this deck. We could very easily shave off $132, and this becomes quite a casual deck. We've got 4 most expensive lands are almost $60. All right, there's $60 right there just by doing what I said earlier with basics and playing things that fetch anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was our land section. Growing Rights of
Itlamok.
Itlamok, is that the flips into Gaia's Cradle?
Yep.
$25. We could in that card's stead just run a Soul Ring.
Or a Gaia's Cradle.
This is the budget section where we're trying to save people money. But there is no Soul Ring. Soul Ring is arguably one of the best cards in the format, and we could replace it with, we could make the swap.
Yes.
And save ourselves $25. Doubling Season, $50 still. While it does work very good with the Ajanis, if we were really going to tune this deck, maybe we'd take some of the Ajanis out that don't immediately provide us cat creatures, and then maybe we don't need the Doubling Season. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that the Doubling Season is nice if you've got one.
Yes.
But you could certainly not play it or the Primal Vigor, and your deck is still good.
Yeah, and then you'd be looking at like $325, $350, which still sounds like a lot, but remember, you're going to have a lot of these cards because, and I did the count, there is at least 20 cards that were printed in M20 or later. So these are new cards. A bunch of those cards were actually even printed in the year 2020, M20 being in 2019.
Yes.
There are lots of available cards in this deck. And again, if you did a couple of the Ajani swaps and the doubling Primal Vigor swaps, you could have a very, very affordable and obtainable deck, and or a deck that you already actually own, which is another reason why I picked this deck, because it didn't include a whole bunch of really old stuff, because cats and dogs as a tribe weren't being supported in mass like they are now. Back in the day, like let's say zombies or merfolk,
or
goblins, right?
There you go.
That weren't, or elves and like Eladamries and some of the most expensive elves in the game, like they're just not as obtainable because you can't find them.
Correct.
Right? Where cats and dogs you can. So that's great. Now, moving on to the Spice Calculator.
Spice Calculator.
Nethroi, already in the little time that it's been alive, is already the 3rd most popular EDH rec commander in Abzan colors.
Proving that Mutate is awesome and putting him right below Carador Ghost Chieftain and right above Cathril Aspect Warper, who I believe was that the commander of the Abzan Commander deck?
I think that was Abzan Commander 2020 deck.
Or was that Tyam? One of those two, but they're 4 and 5 either way.
Yeah.
So all of those...
Actually, they were both. They were both in that pre-con, and then Nethroi was the Abzan Commander from Ikoria proper.
Yeah, so it shows those Ikoria ones maybe they were good. Maybe people
good,
like them.
Popular, yeah, for sure. 1,314 lists for Nethroi and EDH.
Ooh.
Now, I think we have one tutor, and that is the wild pair. You can call it more than one because it tutors multiple times, but it is one card.
I agree. I think that is the only one.
It's fucking 6 mana, so really...
You're allowed.
Yeah. How many tutors are we really getting off of it in a deck that's got 7 ramp spells? We're getting to 6, and we're going to cast a couple more things, and the game's going to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you punch it all into the spice calculator with a uniqueness rating of 55. That's cards different than the stock page on EDH.
Holy God.
That's 55 cards that do not appear in our list that do appear on Nethroi's just stock page when you click on it, not including lands.
Ooh.
Yeah. Punch it all in. 73 spices.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so when you pick a tribal deck in a popular commander that isn't a tribal commander, that is a fun deck and a great deck for teaching new players, that is very obtainable and affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking looks like you got a good CCO deck.
Agreed.
Yeah,
and it's spicy as fuck. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. It's playing cards that we like. Selvala Stampede, Patriarch's Bidding, Genesis Storm. I've played that card.
Ooh, Genesis Wave. I play the shit out of that
There
card.
we go, right? And Nethroi, we're doing something atypical for that creature, which is not graveyard combo.
Yeah, and I think that Nethroi at this point hasn't quite attained that level of, it's Nethroi. It's immediately a combo deck. And I think that decks like this might even help kind of keep him welcome at the more casual tables. And you don't say, no, this is my Nethroi cat tribal deck, where you can just say, I'm playing Nethroi. Is it that Nethroi? Nope. And people go, okay.
Yeah,
right?
I think that you're right. And while people will ask the question, is it that Nethroi? They'll ask that question. But when you say no, because Nethroi doesn't really have an affiliation to any tribe or any certain combo or strategy or anything like that, I think that it is easy to convince people that it isn't that one.
Yeah, but
that's cool.
And you know that there's other decks like this out there, and that's awesome. That's probably why it has so many lists, is because people are maybe building off, like I built a sliver deck out of them.
Yeah, 3 colors, right? 3 different creature types, relevant graveyard ability. It seems like there's lots of directions that you could take it.
He's just lots of fun to build with. And it's true, because I've done it, and it's fun.
That's for sure. And don't forget, you can pick up your Nethroi or any cards that we talk about today at FusionGamingOnline.com.
They're a source for all your gaming needs.
All your Nethroi needs.
Yeah, there we go.
Alliteration. This is NNO Podcast.
What? No, it's what?
Sounds like a fucking wrestling association. Yeah. They are the official sponsors. We like working with them. Don't forget, tune into Commander Cookout tomorrow. The podcast proper and the YouTube page. We're going to have 2 little pieces of content there for our official preview card for Kaldheim. Super awesome. We liked it. It is EDH playable, which is
important for a show like ours.
Yeah, very much so. And we can't wait to share it with everybody. Give us your final thought of the day, and I guess let everybody know where to find us on YouTube and where else, because we did get some new subs.
You can find us at Commander Cookout or CCO Podcast, anywhere that you find virtually anything. We have a full list up at commandercookout.com if you'd like to check out a full list of our social media coordinates, both for Ryan and myself. Thank you again for listening with your ear holes or your eye holes or whatever hole you like to have the show in each and every week. As for Raining Cats and Dogs, I think the Deech has provided us both a terrific deck that's lots of fun, but also a great teaching tool, like Ryan says, for new players to bring them in and say, hey, here's how you build a deck that's both functional and fun, and then has some thematic elements and teaches you how to build. Like, hey, you can still play just not every cat in the world and still have a decent cat tribal list and have the other cards that are just good that you need to make your deck function and have them still be thematic and interesting. And it was for a commander that, like I said, hasn't developed a reputation as being just a combo-tastic piece of garbage that everybody groans and throws up their hands when they see him pop out at the table, and you got to spend a lot of time convincing them that it's Zur Sea Monsters or some other business like that. Urza with no artifacts in it.
No.
Right? Like, nobody's going to believe you ever.
No. Could you call him Nerza? No artifact Urza?
Ah,
oh, got there again.
Man, we're going to have to build that now, aren't we?
Oh, fuck. CCO Nation, get it in a deck list thread on our Discord.
Yeah, thank you. We won't have to do it. We'll make somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the heavy lifting, everybody. And thank you for being here. I am Brando with 2 T's. He is Ryan, and we'll be back next week with another episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!